Welcome to another Saturday night and taking it to the nub. I'm your host, Boston Jimmy. My co-host, Quentin Brown, will be joining us. Hopefully, he's probably somewhere around this earth in some shop. But tonight, I got Rick Rodriguez on from West Tampa Cigars. And you might remember Rick when we did the show with CAO. He was the ambassador for CAO, and he has since left. He has created his own cigar company. There's a lot of history behind this company and a lot of history behind the Rodriguez family itself. So we're going to get right into this show. Let me bring in Rick Rodriguez. Rick, all right. As your shirt says, ready, bro? Are you ready?
I am ready, bro. I am.
Okay.
And thank you so much for the opportunity, Jim, to talk about West Tampa.
Yeah, I want to learn more about West Tampa myself, for sure.
Yep. Great story.
It's been a while since we last spoke. You were the ambassador for CAO for many years. You had your fingers on those blends along the way. We met each other at numerous trade shows. We've had a great time together enjoying cigars and drinks. But you moved into this new direction. Was it something that you always wanted to do, or did you just feel it was just time to do something different?
You know what, like everybody in 2020, everybody had some time on their hands to kind of sit back and think about your future. And so in 2020, I thought, there was this kind of tugging on my shoulder to retire and just kind of, mosey down the road and end the cigar, business for myself. And then late 2020, maybe November, my daughter called me, and she's been traveling. So she graduated Florida about 9 years ago. And when she graduated, she left the next week for the Philippines, and she's been on the road for 9 years. So she lived in the Philippines, she lived in Australia, Vietnam, Thailand. She loves, and she was in Nicaragua when the shutdown happened. So, Dad, I think I'm going to be able to make it out and come home. And so if I come home, I want to work with you. I said, "Oh, what do you mean work with me? I want to get in the cigar business with you." I said, "Baby girl, Jello Cigar is not going to hire you to make me happy. If that's something you want to do," it's a joy for me to my daughter ever asked me to work with me. I said, "Bro, I have to quit, and maybe you and I will open the shop together in Tampa and just kind of retire, semi-retire. You can run the shop and I'll be a part of it." I said, "Great, that's great. Let's do that." And so that kind of started that wheel of turning. Never once, Jim, did I think I wanted to leave General Cigar to do my own thing. What happened was my partner, Gus Martinez, was the head of marketing for General Cigar. So we did work together, but not a lot, because I had a marketing director that I was reporting to and working with for CAO, and he was kind of controlling everybody, CAO, Mecanudo, Punch, Cohiba, everybody out there. But we struck up this friendship, and when I was visiting the office in Richmond, I've always went to this office and, "Gus, how you doing? Good. How's your family? Good." So we had a friendship over a working relationship, because I really did work with him. And so in 21 January, this is the guy. He just calls me out of the blue every year on my birthday, on holidays, and New Year's. And he says, "Ricky, Happy New Year's. This is 21. What are you going to do it?" I say, "Bro, I think I'm going to retire in 22 for Jebba Cigar and open a shop with my daughter." "Oh, really?" I want to get back to the business because he was let go. We kind of went through some changes with SCG. And so he was let go at about maybe now going on 3 or 5 years ago. So he was let go, always stayed in touch. And then he says, "Really? So what are you going to do? A shop? Could I invest in your shop?" Oh, yes, you can, because I have absolutely no money. So, yes. So, let me do this. Let me form a business plan to open the shop and how much money and where we're going to do that. So, he spent about maybe 3 months on this, business plan. And we found a location, and he was going to be my partner. And he says, we found a location. We're going to sign a lease. And he called me about 2 days before we signed and said, Berkey, I'm out. What do you mean you're out? I said, bro, I live in Richmond. You're going to have your shop in Tampa. All we're going to do is collect money from you guys. I'm not going to work the shop. So the shop is going to be handled by you, your daughter, and your wife. So all I want to do is collect money. And that's going to destroy our business relationship and our friendship because I'm not putting in any effort. And so, bro, I can't do this without you because I knew this, Jim. I knew this. May know tobacco. May know how to blend, how to talk about tobacco, but I don't know business. And he's a very wise businessman. And he says, well, if you go out, I have to stay with General Cigar. Ricky, have you ever wanted or desired to do your own company? At that time, no, because I was so happy with CAO. Why would I leave CAO? I have carte blanche in any tobacco I want access to. Why would I leave? To do something for yourself and your family. Okay. Can you do a business plan? Yes, I can. So he formed this business plan and presented to us. I thought, we can do this. I think we can do this. And so we kind of, in 2021, the summer, started. I notified SCG and General Cigar, hey, bro, I'm going to retire in 2022. The president of, Regis said, yeah, you've been saying that for years. You're not going to retire. Bro, I am. What are you going to do? I don't know, because I'm still working with the company.
Did you have a non-compete?
No.
Wow.
That was another story they fucked up so many times. And so I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And then, so my last day with General Cigar was this year at April the 29th. I was in an event, and the shop guy said, so this is your last event? That's the last event ever for CEO. They gave me a microphone and said, bro, we're going to videotape you announcing that you're retiring, and we want you to drop the microphone, and you're out of it. And we did that. It was a Friday. So April 29th was a Friday. I dropped the fucking microphone and launched West Tampa on Monday.
Wow.
And they were shocked. They were shocked, like, really? And so what we did was behind the scenes, really, Gus did all of it. So I came to play when we selected the factories we want to work with. And so we had to hide. So a lot of, Sunday nights, a lot of evening calls, never taken away 1 minute for General Cigar. Matter of fact, my last event for General Cigar, I set the bar. We sold $17,000 in CAO in one event in 3 hours. So the bar is set. I don't think West Tampa can sell $17,000 an event. We don't have the product, but we did that, set that bar and kind of mows it on. And so we released West Tampa on that 2nd of May. And then we've been in business shipping product now in this country for 4 months and in Europe for 5 months. And we are now on easily 300 doors in the U.S. easily, and then maybe 350 shops in the U.S. And we have about 17 countries right now on a record. And we have another, I think he said another 15 countries coming by the end of this year. So we're going to be in over 30 countries by the beginning of the new year.
That is absolutely phenomenal. And
it's amazing.
So and I can say, flat out that, so I did the review on the black, okay, which I found to be, it's at a stellar level. All right. I think
Thank you, bro.
that was an excellent cigar. Tonight, I am actually smoking the white label. All right. And Q is supposed to be coming on board smoking a black, but I'm actually going to be, you're going to see me with my camera once in a while because I smoked one of these and I had taken some notes, but I didn't take the pictures because I had two more to smoke. I gave one to Q. So I only had one left. They said, so now I got to sit here and take the photos as I'm sitting with you smoking a cigar. So, but talk to me about what are you smoking?
I'm smoking the white. I'm smoking
Okay.
the white. And so I just finished some black and I'm smoking the white. And but if you look at these two cigars, what you're going to discover if you side by side compare it, okay, the wrappers are the same, the fillers are the same. How do you do this? How do you have virtually the same blend but deliver two different cigars? And that is where my training comes in. That is where the Benjis of the world, the Ernestos of the world, the Franconessas of the world, all these guys, the legendary guys taught me. So what we did was use these kind of virtually the same tobacco, but if you look at the white, we want you to receive all your flavor from the wrapper. That's going to be what you taste and what you're going to enjoy.
And I'll tell you right now, and I'm only this far in on this, that I've had some people talk to me and said, "Oh, I heard those are, those West Tampa cigars are like eating chocolate bars," and I'm like, "Well, I didn't get any of that in the black. I didn't get the chocolate. This, I've already got a little bit of that earthiness on the front end. I got some citrus, and now I'm getting some of that cocoa flavor coming in. It is already a different cigar than that black. Okay. And you did an amazing job. We'll see how the rest of it goes. I know I got the notes on it from before.
The black is not Maduro. So everybody's, I love your Maduro. No. And my training, this is my training. So another factory or another blender say anything dark is a Maduro, and they're right for them. But in my training, if you can't take that black cigar and rotate it in your mouth and pull away, it takes that natural sweetness. That's not a Maduro. So what we're doing with the black and the white is the same wrapper. All we're doing is fermenting that black wrapper for about 3 months longer, changing the color.
Bring out a little more of the sweetness.
Exactly. So we're not kind of, taking that tobacco and then we're going to ferment it at a high temperature to break down what the starch is to turn them into sugars. And so that's the reason you can't, there's no way these are the same kind of, it's not exactly the same. If you look at the black, I'm using a binder that I use for a filler for the white. And so that's all we're doing. It's just manipulating the tobacco and turning it to different. So if I was talking to somebody, the white would be medium to full body, depending on what you smoke, how often you smoke. And the black would be that true medium body, maybe medium plus. In a scale to 1 to 10, black should be about 6 in my eyes. It's just
from a strength perspective, I put it at a medium plus, and I always do that. My scale when I think of strength on a cigar is I have to think about me not being who I am smoking a cigar. So when I judge the strength, I'm like, oh, what do I feel like? And if I feel it's like hitting me at medium, it's probably medium plus. Okay. Because my consumption is different than a lot of consumers.
Exactly.
Don't want to lead them down the wrong path.
Yeah, because it's hard for me to ever say, what's the body? The body for me or for you? if it's for you, I need to ask you this question: how often do you smoke? What are you smoking? Oh, I'm smoking a Macanudo. I smoke a Macanudo twice or three times a year. Oh, the black is going to be plus body for you, but for a cigar, hey, bro, I'm smoking a lot of papine. Oh, the black would be a medium, maybe medium. Yes, yeah. So everybody's palate is different, but I agree with you, especially the citrus from that white. You, bro, I agree with when you say citrus, bro. You are spot on.
Absolutely.
On. Yeah.
Mouth watering.
Yeah.
It's very mouth watering right now.
So now, it's a small company, a small manufacturer.
Well, I was going to ask. I don't know if you want to divulge. Where are you? Where are you manufacturing these?
So this in Nicaragua, it's a small factory called Garmendia, and if you've been to Esteli, to find this place, it's not in the kind of the chosen area that everybody's at. He built his factory in kind of the bedroom community of Esteli. Why? Because he wanted to have people be able to walk to his factory, not catch a bus and not catch a cab.
The workers.
Exactly.
Right.
So when we saw him for the first time, he only has about 30 rollers. I said, bro, I'm used to going to General Cigars factory. In the DR, we have close to 1,300 rollers. And maybe Honduras, we have close to 700 rollers. And in Nicaragua, for CAO, maybe 300 to 400 rollers. I'm going to a factory that has 30 rollers. And I said, bro, why do we choose him? Because we knew that if we go to the big dogs, the AJs, the Pepines of the world, the General Cigars of the world, we're just a number. Right. And I knew that I had the power that we can change people's lives. And so when we approached him, said, bro, what's the largest order you have ever received? And he worked with two main players, and I can't divulge who these players, that there's business. But he said, both of those guys give me an order for 5,000. I said, boxes? No, cigars. Oh, bro, we need 180,000 cigars before we launch West Tampa. Bro, if you do that for our factory, I can pay my rollers a bonus that I have not been able to pay in 5 years. And so that's the reason we chose them, because we knew the love, the care, the respect for the tobacco would be there. And every roller knows the opportunity they have received, and they want to do the great job for us.
So we got some questions from the audience already, which is good. So Brian Lewis says, I need to smoke West Tampa and try the blend. Okay, Brian, we'll figure that out.
For Brian, let's go back. For Brian, go to West Tampa, Tobacco, our website, and there's a locator area, so you can say, okay, where do you live, and you can see where we're at. Maybe there's a shop around you that you didn't realize is right around your backyard, and he's going to be there. So just go to our website and see locators, and you'll see where we're at.
Because we have other people asking the same question. We have Tyler Garcia, who lives in Kansas. He says there's only one place that he knows of, one shop in Kansas that sells West Tampa. That's the Humidor East.
Right.
And LaShawn, NASCAR for Life Hilliard, a winner on one of the many winners on the Take It to the Nub Wheel of Wonderfulness. She says that, are they here in Maryland?
They are, but where? That's details that I don't really get into. So just go to our website.
I'm going to share that right now. I'm going to share that website right now. I'm going to push it out here so you can see. So if you come on what Rick's saying, you come right here to West Tampa Tobacco.com, and you go to store locator. And I remember looking at this. So this is actually a pretty cool. Come on, open up. There it is. So it scrolls down, and it has, so it knows where I am because it got off my IP. So it knows I'm in Florida. So you would get the same thing. You could put a zip code in here, I believe.
Yep.
Let's just come over here for fun. And I'm going to just type in my old zip code where I grew up in New York and Long Island, 11040, New Hyde Park, New York. And so there we go. This is, you got them in Maxie's, Cigar Fellas, Cigar Lounge, La Casa del Tobacco, all in this general vicinity where I grew up. So very easy to use. This is a fantastic widget you have on your website. One of the best I've seen out there. So definitely go to that site. You could find anywhere they are. 350 shops. I'm going to tell you, there are small brands that have been around for 5 years that wish they were in 350 shops.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's amazing.
It's only going to get bigger for you as these things grow.
Yeah. So we're right now, not saying we're not opening new accounts. Somebody asked for an account, we'll talk to them. But right now, we're just trying to make sure that we have enough cigars, because we knew right away, I can open 1,000 shops in the U.S. easily. Could I give them cigars to reorder after they bring it in? That's my problem, because what I don't want to do is you spend money, time, and effort to get West Tampa in your shop. It sells well. You call us, hey, I need to order some Robustos and Toros, back order. Keep that space open for 2 months for us, and we'll get back. No, that's a sign of death for you. So we're very concerned of the amount of shops that we open. Do we have enough product to support these shops going forward? So that's always because we're trying to run this company small, but think big. So General Cigar really taught a lot about how to kind of design a cigar, the stories behind it, the box, the brand, and how to ship and how to kind of open it up. And so we learned from that. So what we're doing is make sure that right now at the beginning, 2/3 were enough cigars to open accounts. Now we have 1/3 for opening accounts, and the other 2/3 to support the accounts we're opening. So you're hopefully, you're never going to be on back order longer than 2 or 3 weeks if we can control it.
Now, when you do events, and obviously you're probably back on the road, I've seen you traveling. What's the swag like now besides the cool sticker?
So we have just again investing the money in the right things. Because at the beginning we really wanted to do events with cigars only, but we know that people love giveaways. So we have a lighter for a buy 5 get a cigar free and a lighter. This lighter right here, we can show you. And
okay.
And then we have a cutter and a power cutter. And so buy 10 cigars, you get this power cutter. And then we discovered this beautiful ashtray. Hold on, I have one right here. And when you buy a box, you receive this ashtray.
Oh, look at that. Oh, it's one of those. That's nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But it's small enough that everybody, because there's also a big one out in the market, but everybody said, bro, I have the big one. I love these small ones. So right now, that's what we're going to do next year. Maybe change it up a little bit, but we're always going to have some giveaways. Hats, T-shirts, everybody wants them. Everybody is reacting to this logo. They just love this logo. And so we're going to have a little store that we're going to create for our website. You can purchase the hats, the cutters, the lighters, the ashtrays. If I'm not in your area, you can still be a part and support West Tampa through the little store that we're going to create.
Fantastic. As you obviously got a great business plan going forward. But speaking of business, you pay some bills here. I'm going to shout out some of the sponsors for the show. We'll come back. We can dig more into that and things that Ricky's up to these days.
Before you light your next cigar, be sure to check out Cigar Medics, the makers of the patent-approved humidimeter. The humidimeter is a tool designed to display the relative humidity inside your cigar. With this device, there's no more guessing. Simply insert the probes into the foot or cap of your cigar, and you can instantly know if your cigar is ready to be smoked. Buy now on cigarmedics.com and see site for other cigar accessories. With the humidimeter, you'll know when to hold them and know when to smoke them.
Get ready, because Drew Estate is back and better than ever, with a party so big that only the Lone Star State can contain it. Music, spirits, mouth-watering barbecue, cigars galore, and so much more. It'll be the most epic shindig there ever was. Barnsmoker presents Savage Feast, October 22nd at the South Fork Ranch, Dallas, Texas. Get your tickets now at barnsmoker.com.
What a great event. I know it's over. I'm waiting for a new video ad from Drew Estate, but man, I'm going to tell you right now, if you go and look at Stogie Press, we'll get to it later in a later segment, but if you go in there and comment on that article, I've got a whole bunch of swag that I've double, tripled up on from my visits of Barnsmokers, and I'm not keeping it all. It's being given away. So Santa Jimmy is coming to your town. So I'm going to do some Wheel of Wonderfulness stuff with that to give away all this swag that's sitting in boxes in my office. So look forward to that. Today's show is also brought to you by Bocock Brothers Cigars. Bocock Brothers is a new and active brand founded by two Honduran brothers, Bryant and Douglas Bocock. The brand zeroes in on those folks that are looking for easy-to-smoke cigars inspired by unusual circumstances. Very importantly, named after their very interesting and imitable last name, Bocock. Right now, they are featuring their latest drop, the Signature Edition, which is produced at A.J. Fernandez's Cigar Factory. To come in a 10-count box with an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, Nicaraguan Habano binder, and Nicaraguan fillers in 3 popular vitolas. You can check out Bocock Brothers Cigars at www.bocockbrothers.com. Today's show is also brought to you by our friends at Platinum Nova Cigars. Platinum Nova is a family-owned and operated premium cigar company where they use only the highest vintage tobacco and the most skilled hand workmanship, and it goes into the making of each Platinum Nova cigar. This results in a timeless blend of art and craftsmanship. The Nova brand and the family's work are a tribute and an honor to their grandfather to always remember him and his infinite passion for the finest cigars. Their love for cigars started with their grandfather, a dedicated master blender and entrepreneur in the cigar industry. So the next time you're looking for an exquisite cigar experience, pick up a Platinum Nova. You can check them out at www.novacigar.com and on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, now owned by Elon Musk. Lastly, today's show is brought to you by Rodriguez Cigars, a different Rodriguez. You may know these guys, Rick. In 1947, the Rodriguez family began the masterful art of cultivating tobacco on their private plantation in the town of Suguane, Cuba. But by 1952, La Finca Common Cedar employed over 20 workers and grew over 120,000 pounds of tobacco annually. Of course, 8 years later, the Cuban government nationalized the private plantation, and the Rodriguez family was forced to immigrate to the United States. Landing in America in 1971, the Rodriguez family found a new beginning on the beautiful island of Key West, Florida, and established the Rodriguez Cigar Factory in 1984. That factory stands as the oldest cigar manufacturer in the Florida Keys, preserving the historical manufacturing industry that began in Key West in 1831. Of course, time has gone by. They're getting some of their more premium blends they get out of factories in Nicaragua. But if you go down to Key West, I say it again and again in this show, you have to go to Rodriguez Cigars at Key West because it's the only place I would buy a cigar on that island. And take the $15 factory tour, and you'll learn all about the history of Key West and cigars. And you'll be able to bunch and roll your own cigar to take home as a memento. You can check them out at www.rodriguezcigarskeywest.com. Let's get back to Ricky. Okay.
So kind of like my story with the Rodriguez. So my grandfather and grandmother came to Tampa in 1953. 1952 was the first year that Tampa outproduced Cuba making Cuban cigars. And so my grandfather was laid off at his factory, and they moved to Tampa to start to roll the cigars. And my grandfather at that time, bless his heart, there's two locations that were rolling cigars in Tampa. One was called Ybor City, and the other one was West Tampa. So when they landed in Tampa, where do we go to work as a cigar roller? Everybody said, go to Ybor City. That's the largest producers of cigars. And he walked into this factory with my grandmother, and he heard some of the rollers speaking a foreign language. One was German, and the other one was Italian. And so what happened was he didn't realize when World War I was over, the influence of people moving to the U.S., the Germans came in. We're manufacturers. What do? We work with our hands, roll cigars. So he turned to my grandmother and says, I will never work in a factory that has any Italians in that factory. And he walked out. And so where we go? Oh, if you don't want to work around Italians and Germans, there's only one place to go, West Tampa. They only hire Cuban rollers. And so he went to West Tampa and discovered a little factory. Everybody first Cuba. He felt comfortable. That is my circle of life. That it started that generation of my family in this business. So they're master rollers. Both my grandmother and grandfather were level 7 rollers. Level 7 is a master roller. And so that master means that you can roll anything they want you to roll. A torpedo, round cigar, any shaped cigars, those are masters that will do that. And so, and he also was voted 3 years in a row to be the lecturer of that factory. That was unbelievable.
That's an honor, right? That's a real honor to be the person.
That was voted only by the rollers. And that guy had to read the newspaper, the magazine articles, books. And so he was, well-rounded. And so, but it skipped my dad's generation. My dad never smoked a cigar in his life.
Wow.
He was a cigarette smoker. So I remember going to my grandfather's and grandmother's house, and my grandfather smoked one cigar a day after work. After dinner, he'd smoke a cigar. My grandmother only smoked one cigar a week. On Sundays, we got together as a family, and the kids went outside after lunch and to play in the backyard. And my grandmother went out to watch us play, and she smoked her cigar. So the image of my grandmother was always a woman smoking a cigar, but she was powerful. My grandmother ran the house. She was the king. So when I see a woman smoking a cigar, it's not sexy to me. It's more of power to me. That represents power to me. It's not represent, oh, look at her putting that cigar in and out. Bro, that doesn't come to my mind. It's power to me because she was smoking cigars in the 50s when no fucking ladies were smoking cigars. And so that's kind of the reason we name it West Tampa, because it's circle of life. To be able to come back to represent Tampa again and make Tampa a global name again as far as cigars, We were very concerned, Jim, that when we named this West Tampa, how many people is going to be pissed off? I don't care about Tampa. It's like if you're a Boston guy, could you imagine smoking a New York cigar? I'm a Boston guy. I know, no, it's Yankees, the fucking Giants, fuck those guys.
But Tampa is known for cigars.
Exactly. So when I was traveling the world, I don't care if I was in China and Germany and France, Italy. Where are you from? Tampa. They didn't have a clue sometimes where Tampa was in Florida. Oh, cigar capital of the world. Bro, we have not produced cigars in 50 years, but they still have this image of Tampa being a cigar capital of the world. So that's the reason that we named it the West Tampa to connect to my family and my life together.
So are you familiar with Serafin de Cuba, Arnold Serafin's shop up in he's up in Tarpon Springs. So his family goes back in history, and what he's doing, he actually rolls all cigars there on the shop. He's got two rollers. Everything he sells, he makes here in the United States in Tarpon Springs. But what he's done is he's rebirthed, and he's gone and grabbed a lot of these old defunct trademarks from Tampa, and he's rebranding them onto cigars now. So he's bringing back the bands, the labels. Okay, the box designs, and just celebrating Tampa. And when you look at his website, and he'll always have stories about Tampa, about cigars, keeps the history rolling because it's rich. It's super rich in history. Let's be real. You know, you got Fuente coming in. You've got you got people, you got the Newmans that came in that, you know, moved in. They were not there. They were up in Chicago area, something like that.
No, they were Cleveland.
In Cleveland, that's right, Cleveland, right? And then you have like when Key West kind of went downhill, that's where they ended up in Tampa doing the work. And the history of that is so rich. And when you walk around Ybor City, all right, are you going to be at the Heritage Festival?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
So when you walk around Ybor City, I tell people, I said, you know, that is just, you just feel, you know, nobody on that strip will frown at you sitting outside on a patio smoking a cigar. That's just, you accept that as a tourist, that you're in Cigar Central right there. And they keep that alive.
I visit a lot of states, a lot of cities, a lot of countries in the world, and I still get that. Oh my God, you're going to light a cigar? You got to be kidding me! But in Tampa, you can light a cigar, and somebody's going to say to you, "Oh, you're going to smoke a cigar." You're waiting for this. The guy to, can you not smoke it? And people in Tampa would say, "Are you going to smoke a cigar?" Yeah. Do you want one? No, I don't smoke, but I love the aroma. It reminds me of my grandfather, my father, my uncles. And so they love the aroma with that coffee roasting in Ybor City. Oh my God, it's heaven. So it's amazing. It's amazing that we can connect again. J.C. Newman, I had a meeting with Jason Newman. So they have a factory. And have you been to the factory lately?
Not lately. I have to get over there again. And when I do the Heritage Festival, I might, I don't know if they will be open. I'll figure it out.
Because what Bobby, I don't know, it's Bobby's or Eric's grandson, Eric, is doing. His grandson, not Eric, but he has reinvented that factory. When you walk into that factory, it's like, oh my God. So there's product in their shops. When you go work in the factory, you can take a tour and you're going to go out. I'm going to buy a cigar. They only carry J.C. Newman and Fuentes. And I had a meeting with Bobby and Eric. I said, bro, I want you to carry my cigars online because they have a online presence. Really, we want you to be in our shop. Bro, I have some nice product for West Tampa and Seattle and a lot of shops in the world. I have never been so excited because I knew that space represents family to them. That's JC Neiman and Fuente only, this relationship. And so, no, we love your fucking cigar, your logo, your name, the history, your story. We want to carry it. So when you walk in there, you're going to see West Tampa in that factory. And
that's incredible.
That was unbelievable for us too. Bro, it's a version of crying when I saw that product on that shelf.
So you should be honored without a doubt for that. I mean, that's just something that you work your whole life and you're doing this now, and to be offered that is an honor that companies small and large around this globe would want to have. And in the short period of time that you've been West Tampa, you have made amazing strides into this industry, which is awesome.
The next up is CI.
There you go. Carefully.
I don't think we're ready for CI. But you know what? Coming up, we have some. The plans are to continue to grow. What now is West Tampa, white and black. But
yeah, I was going to ask. So let me ask that question properly, because Lou Piscatelli asked. He says, "What's the business plan on rollouts of the next blends?" So go, bro.
So the next blend is going to be a series called Attic, like our attic. And this is a series that is going to allow me to showcase two things, either the unique tobaccos, our special, rolling situation, but also the unique stories about me being raised and growing up in Tampa. I can share some great stories. And we're going to be able to live through this line called Attic Series, a number of stories connecting me to my business or my growing up in Tampa. And so we're going to drop the first Attic, where we're going to drop it in the 15th of October. But because of everything is happening, our banding guy, our paper guy, called us. We ran out of paper. We need to wait for paper. And so we're going to now release Attic maybe the second week of November. And this is going to be a 14-count box. We only made about 2,000 boxes. I would be proud to say we already sold 90% of the line. Nobody's smoked it. Nobody's tried it. Nobody fucking knows what the price point is. They're going to just bring it in. And so we're going to release that. I think that the cigar is one size, and I think we're going to sell that for $11.99. And so that's going to be an Attic series. And then we're going to drop another Attic and the trade show at TPE in February, and then in the trade show in Vegas in July. We're going to drop the second full-time release product in the area. So, and then we have a high-end cigar that we're going to release in November of next year. So 3 releases next year, and then we're going to kind of dial down and maybe release 1 or 2 releases in 2024.
That's a nice plan, and of course we're all looking for new things. So Rodriguez, West Tampa Cigars. Q, welcome to the show. Thank you for finding.
Yeah. Thank you, bro. Thank you for joining us.
What are you smoking?
What's your story first? Why were you late?
Yeah.
So I actually have a hernia that I found out that I had.
Now you're gonna.
And
so now you're gonna bear everybody
Now
down.
we're all gonna be like,
Yeah, so
I'm sorry, bro.
I actually had a doctor's appointment that ran over, so I apologize.
Are you able to smoke cigars?
Oh yeah. That train has not stopped at all.
Did you smoke the black yet?
That one is absolutely phenomenal. We'll talk about those notes later. But in the meantime, I got to catch up because
You got
you-
white.
We're all smoking the white.
that's what I'm.
We're
That's
all
what I'm.
smoking
Make
the
sure
white.
make
right
sure
now.
you write notes down on the white because I want those. We'll put that joint review out when we're done because I'm doing the same thing, smoking it on the show,
Absolutely.
and you're gonna love
Absolutely.
it. And we won't tell you anything about it. You just tell us what you get on it.
I'm going to share this with you. When you're smoking the white, we want to receive the majority of flavor from the wrapper. When you're smoking the black, we want you to receive the flavor from the filler. Because when you're doing your research, you're going to notice, hey, bro, the blends are kind of the same. How does he do this? And so you'll notice that the king of your wrap, the white bow is the filler. Bow is king. But with you're smoking the black, we want to reverse that. Bow to the king of the flavor was be the filler, and the wrapper is going to be kind of there to support the flavor for the black.
Well, first off, I want to thank Jimmy for supplying me with the awesome sample, and I want to thank you for supplying Jimmy with samples to supply to me. So I definitely want to thank both parties.
We can
Jimmy
get rid of Jimmy. We can get rid of Jimmy. Just give me your address, and I can send you cigars. We don't need him. We don't need.
Listen,
we love him, but we don't need. You know,
I am loyal to a fault. So you know,
I love that, bro. I'll just send a box of two to Jimmy then.
I gotta make sure we keep Jimmy in the mix.
So, Jimmy, let me ask you this: if I send you some lighters and cutters, can you kind of give it out to your?
Absolutely, it'll go on the Wheel of Wonderfulness for this show. Absolutely.
Perfect.
You know how that that works. We did that with CAO. We'll do that with West Tampa.
Perfect.
People will love it.
You know, on Monday, I have I think 2 of those ashtrays, maybe one for you, one for Q. I don't know, but we'll definitely send you some lighters and cutters that you can showcase out there.
Definitely, the viewers love that stuff. And we'll get a couple of cigars in their hands because once they taste this, they're gonna go on that website and say, "Oh, they got one of these in the shop right up the road, or maybe 10 miles away, or whatever." Unless you live in Kansas, Tyler, and then maybe it's across the state. I don't know. You know, a lot of shops there, I guess.
We have a kind of 2 like online guys, 3 really. One is a partner of us, Cigar Daily, so he can reach out to anybody. Also,
Swanson.
best cigar prices. Another one, and JC Newman also has a website and for shipping cigars outside of Tampa. So if you're really in an area that you can't kind of reach out to your local shop, go to these either Cigar Daily or Best Cigar Prices, and I guarantee that we can help you out.
Awesome. That's it, people. You got it. The rec from the bro himself. So good. So you're going to be a TPE. You're going to be a PCA. I'll definitely going to see you at TPE because I'm climbing a mountain during PCA or just coming back from it or something like that. And we're going to have fun there for sure because I know that Ricky knows how to party, and that's the place I can let my hair down and just not worry about diets again.
You know, partying is different to me because somebody was asking me. I did a interview with a magazine in Germany. It says, "Okay, you know, I know you, and I know how you love your friends, your family. So, what was the hardest thing to walk away from John's Bar? Your friends that you have in the industry, or the rollers. What was their hardest? Bro, I can answer this question like this. My credit card, the CAO General Cigar credit card, was the hardest thing to get rid of because now I have to pay for everything myself. Amazing how I fucking travel right now. Back seat, middle seat, row 30, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah,
No more
that's
fucking first class flights for me.
well, you got to grow a little, and you will, and you'll find your way. Me, I do economy comfort in Delta. I fly Delta. I do always get the economy comfort seats. I'll pay a couple extra for it, just because it's not first class, but it gives me a little more leg room. Or I'll always get the exit row if I'm sitting in coach, because that gives me everything I need. Q, man. So you obviously had some questions. We talked about this last weekend at down in Texas.
We've been excited for this interview for about a month.
Amazing.
So fire some things out. I'll take a break here, man. I've let you do some questions.
So the very first thing that I noticed, just without tasting the cigar, without lighting the cigar, what is the theme? And you guys may have already touched on this. What is the theory or the theme behind the band design? Like, where did the intricate detail come in with the kind of the spirals and the kind of the, all of the intricate details that are really going into the logo and the band around the West Tampa Tobacco Company? Where did that come in? Is there any story behind that, or is that just a little bit of hey, we're just going to add a little bit of artistic flair to that? Can you touch on that a little bit?
No, we knew that we want to create a logo that we can adhere to every launch. So not calling it West Tampa, grain, or West Tampa yellow. And so that logo is going to be in place in every cigar. So maybe I call a cigar circles, the circle of life. And so that logo will be, adhered to the box in the front. So bro, I need a West Tampa. Where's the West Tampa? That one. No, that's circles by West Tampa. So we knew that we wanted to interact with that logo. That logo happens to be my Little League baseball logo. They didn't ever register that logo. So I just stole it. And so that's connecting me back to Tampa. And so we don't want to call it, we knew that at the beginning, we didn't want to call anything by my name, because when you have a name attached to the line, they're buying the name, your name. And so when you have a Rocky Patel, an AJ, or a Ping, they're buying that name and you. And so if we think of ourselves, if we want to sell this cigar company in 10 years or 5 years, I don't want to be included in the sale. Oh, we'll buy you, but Ricky, you need to work with us for 5 years because we're really buying you. So West Tampa should stand on its own. And then the art director said, bro, let's do this. Let's make it new age, but also added some old world. So even the paper is more of a paper that the branding factory had to order. It's more of a paper that you make money from or stock certificates from. So if you look at that, kind of logo, it's all based on the money and our stock. So if you open the box, you'll see this kind of vista to explain the story, but it looks like a stock certificate. It's amazing. It's very hard to get off. It's very thick, but that's kind of the reasoning behind this kind of art, that we want to create something unique, something old school and new school.
That's actually interesting that you say that, because now that you say that, it does. When I look at the very kind of the very back of the band, it kind of looks like the corner edges of a dollar bill.
Yes. That's
really interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. And so if you look at how, the logo, the little story, it looks like that's going to be handed to you. You own stock in my company. This is like the stock paper that you'll receive. So it's a kind of old school, new school, but we're going to really play up the logo, not West Tampa. So you'll see that little logo, and anything we're going to produce, you'll see that little logo somewhere on the box to represent West Tampa. And we had to clear with legal because everybody said, bro, Tiger Woods is going to come after you.
Wow.
Yeah, really? But I would love to Tiger Woods to come after me and say, cease. Really? Tiger? Really?
Well,
Trying to
let's
make a
just put
living.
it this way. If you put him behind the wheel of a car, he doesn't have a very good track record.
Thank
So
you.
just-
Thank you.
Just
Thank you.
drive away from him.
Yeah. But
What?
you know, Tampa, Q, you didn't hear this beginning. That's where my grandmother came from Cuba and working in the factory in West Tampa. I was born and raised in West Tampa. And so just hearing that fucking circle of life more and more.
All right.
That's
So
awesome.
let me take another quick break. We go through what's new in news and reviews on Stogie Press. Not a lot for this week because
I'm gonna get a beer. So you do that.
I'll do that. That's perfect. I'd love to give my guests the break. All right, so things you didn't see last week because we didn't have a show because we were down in Texas eating way too much barbecue and food. 2 reviews. First one is the JRE Tobacco Aladino Classic Robusto. Yeah, this cigar is the jam. This is named classic for a reason. This is a very classic, elegant cigar. The flavor profile in this was spot on with the caramel notes and the cream, the dark chocolate. It had some nice floral Cuban-esque notes coming through and aromas. Had that fruit and honey note came in. I love that honey note when I get it. Some natural sweetness, spice, and some woodiness. So it had a very full profile, very well balanced throughout. This is only a less than $9 cigar, people. Less than $9. Beautiful looking cigar, beautifully rolled and bunched.
Look at that.
I mean, that is just, you don't get that. That's it. This is what you look for. All right. The burn on this, come on, man. Look at the burn on this. Beautiful. Everything was fantastic on this cigar. So it did have a flat but scented burn cone. That's the only point deduction on this. Pleasurable and consistent. Definitely buy a box of these if you could find them. And it had a sharp burn on it. So absolutely spectacular cigar.
He was just in Charlotte.
The second one we went into, which is today's show, was the West Tampa Cigars Black Toro. This came in 95. Again, this is only a $10 cigar. It has a medium to full strength on this. It's got that Ecuadorian Habano dark in it. It's got Ometepe Habano in the binder. That's one of my most favorite tobaccos in the world. It's got Condega Viso and Esteli Lejero in it. Yeah, wow. Okay, this is a terrific blend. Okay, from cigar industry veteran Rick Rodriguez. I don't have to say much more. You come through this. This is an absolutely beautiful cigar. Comes in actually 3 Vitolas, Robusto, a Toro, and a Grande. The Grande is the most expensive at $11. I'm not a Grande guy, but if you are, come on, where are you going to get a 6x60 of this quality for $10.99? Beautiful, beautiful construction. You can see that dark. There's also that dark tobacco in there, okay, which adds to that flavor notes that you're getting. Come down. It's got a beautiful burn on it. It's got a beautiful ash cone. Just came down absolutely beautiful. It did have a bitter sour note deep in the final, and there was a mild jag in the burn. But that sour note, some people like that, some people don't. Okay, but it was in the final, so not so bad. But it was very complex and balanced, and definitely positive across multiple samples. Took it right down to the nub. Okay, I just wanted to smoke another one, and I did. So that's the reviews. When it comes to news, Drew Estate has announced that 2022 Liga Privada Unico Series Pancetta is returning to Barrister Cigars and Wooden Indian Tobacco Shop. Fratello announced the La Floridan. Okay, this is an old Tampa brand from what I understand. Okay, so they've kind of brought one of those back. Drew Estate has also announced that the Liga Privada Unico Series UF4 returns exclusively for Casa de Monte Cristo in Chicago. And Drew Estate also, not Drew Estate, Cigar Dojo and Protocol have announced their limited edition Protocol tenure. Hiram and Solomon has partnered with SZ Wholesale for exclusive U.S. distribution, so they've expanded their distribution market. If you recall, they were being distributed by Blanco Cigars. They have now parted their ways, and he is now using SZ Wholesale for their distribution in the U.S. And Southern Drawer announced the date of the Picadillo's crowdsourced contest drawing. If you haven't got into that, that is a pretty spectacular thing they're going to give away. They're going to give away a complete tour trip to Nicaragua to blend, to work in their factories. This is a spectacular prize package. So if you haven't seen that article, go back in here and check this article out in the news. I think you may still be able to get into it. The idea is you would just vote which one of these Picadillos you liked, because this is a crowdsourcing thing. And then they're going to be releasing that particular cigar. CO has announced their limited edition Vision Toro. This is the Vision that came out a few years ago. They got a new one now, slightly different blend, I understand, on this particular one. And that's it. The rest of it was old news. And then I should also note that if you go into the lifestyle section of the site, I do have up this article right here, which is a recap of the Savage Feast. I chose in this article not to go into detail because it would repeat a lot of what I said in the previous Barn Smokers. So I just kind of bulletized some points and things I took away from it. The most important thing is I rate this thing a 10 out of 10. And I note in here that I've already spoken to people, and some people were complaining about this and complaining about that. I'm like going, you do realize that this is the largest single cigar brand event ever held. Okay. One company, huge event, over 600 people, the food, the entertainment, everything was spot on. The swag. I mean, they just give. And as Jonathan Drew says, it's gratitude, family, and hospitality. That's what they run their company by. And they did a bang-up job of it. So if you want to go find your picture, it's in here. You can click any one of these, and it'll open up in your browser a little bigger, so you can hunt through here if you want to. And this video, go watch this video and comment in here on this article. And this is I won't play it here, but it's a beautiful video that is a collage of the 2 days with no time span. I just basically shuffled everything around to show all the activity that was going on. And I scattered through there. I interviewed everybody in the Drew Estate team that was there. And I asked them one question: what does 25 years of Drew Estate mean to you? And I capture that throughout here, and you'll see those answers scattered through this video. It's about a 25-minute video to watch. And there's a lot of background music and stuff going on. So it's a fun video if you really want to catch the vibe of what happened down at the Savage Feast. And that's the news, reviews, and other things on Stogie Press this week. All right.
I can't believe, I can't wait for my first cigar event in my garage. Yeah, it's going to be epic. So everybody's going to come to my garage.
I'm coming over to your garage. You can come in my garage anytime. You don't cross.
Oh, you know what? Come over, because I have so many cigars I need to give away. So please come by, because before I left General Cigar CL, I didn't know if West Tampa was going to be a success or not. So I ordered a truckload of cigars, pallets of cigars. Just in case. Just in case it didn't work. So Q, Jim, you're more than welcome. My wife would love you, because we have a room, 2 rooms right now in my house dedicated to swag and cigars. And all she wants is the rooms back. to be a house. So when you come to my house, she'll say, "Thank you so much for coming. Here's your party gift," and she'll load you up.
Sounds like my wife. She keeps telling me to go into my humidor and start giving more stuff away. And I'm like going, you do understand that I like cigars, right? But we have a good fun.
Oh, I think you're smoking a cigar that was made on either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Never buy a cigar that was made on Monday or Friday. Why?
That's
Because,
right.
Friday, you don't buy a truck made on Friday or Monday. Why? Because they think of the weekend on Friday, and they're hung over on Monday. So apparently, your cigar was made on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
There you go. Fact.
So
Cigar truth.
Yeah, it's amazing what these guys, through my training, I still cannot roll a cigar, and I just tip my hat to every roller that's for anybody. Job well done, because it's an art. It is an art to roll cigars over and over and give you a good draw, a good flavor. The blend is right. It's amazing what these guys do. I'm not talking about my company. I'm talking about every company. Every company. Every company has a cigar for somebody. That's it.
There is a cigar out there for everybody.
Yes.
May not be for everybody, but there is some out there for anybody.
Exactly. So I've never, if you want to feel my pressure, I'm under all the time. All you need is go to your local shop and look at that humidor. Tell me what's a bad cigar today. Maybe a cigar that you don't like. That's one thing. That's your palate. But a bad cigar, somebody's going to say, you don't like that? That's my number one cigar. I love this cigar. You're right for yourself. So everybody's doing some great jobs right now.
They are absolutely. I totally agree with you. Over the last 5 years, I get them from big and small, and I can tell you that I'm sometimes blown away. I mean, even this cigar from Serafin de Cuba, I handed it out in a prize package a couple weeks ago. It went down to Casey down South Florida, and he knows his cigars, and he raved about that cigar. He thought it was a Cuban Hoyo de Monterrey because of the band design, and we had to make it clear to him that this band design was in the family, and they actually did this in Cuba 12 years before Hoyo did this. So they actually have a legit claim to that design. And he raved about it. He goes, he couldn't believe how good it was. He's never heard of this company in his life. And I just tell people, don't judge it until you smoke it. And if you don't like it, you don't buy another one, okay?
Yeah.
But get out there and try different things.
Again, I have been in events for CAO, and people come up to me and say, hey, I don't like CAO. What I want to say, what the fuck are you doing here then? You saw the CAO. Why did you not like it? Well, back in 2001, I smoked this cigar. Oh, so you're going to rate every cigar based on that one cigar? Bro, you don't do that. So even if you smoke a Waka Patel or a Papine or AJ, I don't like that cigar. That doesn't represent every cigar they make. Go back there and say, oh, okay, I'm trying this one and this one and this one. You're going to find a hidden jewel. You're going to find something you're going to enjoy. And so for you to just say, I don't want that restaurant, again, why? Because I went to the steakhouse and ordered fish. They're not known for fish. Go back to that restaurant and eat their fucking steak, and now make your decision.
Right.
But everybody's palate's different. I know this, bro. I talk to everybody, every manufacturer out there. Bro, they lie and wake in bed every night, worried about the plans, worried about the company, and worried about their projects. So everybody's working hard. There's no more of these, I don't care. Just roll it and fucking send it out. There's no work.
So what?
no more
So
of that.
with all your time in CAO and now with West Tampa, and you are an engaging person with the consumer all the time. What are the most recent trends that you see in the industry that are coming to light over this last year or two? What do you see going on as far as
More flavor.
more flavor, strength?
Yeah, so no more flavor. About 5 years ago is all fucking body. Rock my fucking world. Today, it's more flavor. Bro,
Good.
I can smoke a light cigar that has flavor. I can smoke a full body cigar that has flavor. Just give me flavor. And so that is number one I'm seeing. Number two is sizing. Gone are the days. Everybody wants the 6x60, the 6x 6x70. All that is kind of playing out. They're going down to typical sizes like a Toro size, a Corona size, even coming back. There are everybody wants a Lanceros.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of seeing that. It takes years to really see that come to life. But right now, what I'm experiencing, more flavor. If you can deliver me flavor, I don't care about the body.
And I would think that has a lot to do with, we had a lot of new cigar smokers over the last 5 years, especially the last two. They came into the market. Like you said, give me strength, knock my brains out of my head, blah, blah. But now they understand cigars a little better. And once somebody gives them something that has that flavor, they're like, I actually taste more than just that strength, because you put too much of that Lajero in and it overpowers the flavor. And you're not getting it, right? And to tone that down and bring that flavor up, I think people are beginning to see that. And I agree. The Coronas, I hear more people talk about Coronas now than they did about Toros and Robustos. A good Corona lasts you an hour. I mean, I won the local championship and came in second in the nation in the cigar smoking world championship last year or 2 years ago. And I smoked that Rocky Patel Mareva, that Corona. That thing I smoked for 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. And that was only 3.5 inches from the foot to the band, and you couldn't burn the band. So over 2 hours. And what you learn on that, you smoke it slow, you get more flavor.
Jimmy,
Look at that.
I just want to point out that ash that I got going on this cigar.
Got to take a picture of that.
I've been kind of sharing this, about your flavor and how quick you're smoking cigars. And so I'm trying to explain, in Europe, they smoke like a Cuban. So if you give a Cuban a Robusto, they'll smoke that cigar for an hour to an hour and a half. In Americans' hands, that would be a half an hour to 45 minutes, because we're constantly puffing and puffing and puffing. So I'm saying, guys, I'm going to explain this to you. This is typically the way we smoke. I kind of blow in the smoke and blow it out. Okay, you're not getting the flavor because it's too hot, especially if you're smoking a cigar constantly, building that head. So every once in a while, to see if their flavor is still there, do this.
Yes, I tell that to people all the time. Swish it around your mouth like a good wine.
Because what you're doing is allowing that smoke that's so hot to cool down your mouth, and when you exhale, you have flavor. And so explain it like this. If I'm cooking soup in the stove and I'm going to serve you and Q, But I say, Jimmy, come to the kitchen. I'm going to serve you a spoonful of my chicken soup before I serve it. Out of the pot, boiling away, you're going to receive it. You're going to do one or two things. Swallow it very quickly or spit it out because it's too hot. Do you taste the onions, the carrots, and the celery? Bro, I didn't taste anything. Serve that same soup in a bowl. Cool it down. You can taste everything. So if I can say to anybody, slow down your smoking to enjoy the flavor more, because a hot smoke equals less flavor. A cool smoke equals more flavor. That's the reason we do a box press cigar. That's the only reason. That's because it doesn't roll away. When I'm boating, it doesn't roll away. No, that's a benefit. But with the reason we're doing box press, sometimes Flathead was a brown cigar. At the original cigar for Flathead was brown. But I was saying to everybody, hey guys, I'm not experienced the flavor that I thought I was going to get from the blend. And my roller that rolls with me for a year says, Ricky, box press it. Once we box press it, what you do, it's hard to shut your lips completely around a box press cigar. A round cigar, you can only draw in air and smoke through the cigar. But when you have a box press, what it has is slats. So when you're drawing in your smoke, you're also drawing in the air. That air will cool your cigar smoke down, thus more flavor.
Absolutely. And you couldn't have said it better. And I tell people that all, because it also activates the flavor molecules when you swish it around in your mouth. And then lick your gums too. You're at it. Do that, and your head explodes. You're like, "Wow, where was that?"
So you know who does that? And surprisingly enough, I used to wonder why he did it. Is Coop. When Coop smokes a cigar, if you've ever wondered, when I first got to meet Coop, he smoked a cigar in front of me, and I used to always see him go like this. I used to always be like, why is he doing that? Yeah. And to hear you guys sit back and talk, now I know why.
And dude, the other thing you do is after you exhale, inhale a breath of air in your mouth, not in here. Just go like this and move the air around. And it activates those flavor molecules. And
amazing what we can learn.
Just the process, and you learn more about it. So
if you're willing to kind of learn from PFO, I learned so much from just regular customers. Sometimes like, what? I'm the expert. You're teaching me. Sometimes you need to just fucking relax and hear with the information everybody wants to share. But
how many times do you retrohale on say a Toro?
I really don't, because I was taught retrohaling is to kind of know the body of the cigar. If your eyes start to water or tear up, that's a full body cigar. And so I don't do that often, but the guys that are women that are fans of that do it. That's the beauty of cigars. You smoke your cigar the way you enjoy it. You light it, you cut it. I don't care. I really don't care if you want to use your thumb, you want to bite it off, you want to use guillotine, a punch. What do you prefer? Who am I to say, oh, you're going to punch my cigar? I wouldn't do that. No, if that's yours, that's yours. Technique. Bro, that ash falls off in your lap.
Hey, we're stacking dimes over here, baby. We're stacking
All right,
dimes.
So let's get to the last segment. This is the lightning round segment. I did put the link to this show, the Zoom link, for anybody that wants to come on. If Ricky wants to stick around, we'll continue to do a little after herf. So if anybody wants to join, the link is there. You'll be in the waiting room for a few minutes, and then we'll bring you in. So lightning round questions. You're same age as me. So we have grown and seen so much in the world around us. When it comes to music, what was your music genre when you were a child, like when you were a teenager?
Disco and old school rock and roll. That was what I listened to in the 70s, from 75 to 75 to 80 was all disco. It was all disco.
It's disco boy right there.
Yeah.
So you had that long hair. You had that long hair in the disco clubs?
Yes, I did, and it helped me so much.
That was a rarity.
Yeah. But that and music-wise, I listen to rap right now. My choice of rock, rap. I'm not a big jazz guy. I've stayed up for the announcement for what's her name? His new album. Her new album. It's Taylor Swift.
Oh man,
I love her. I love her.
I have to say that I didn't listen to a lot of Taylor Swift songs. That's not necessarily was my jam. I'm classic rock. I turn on Sirius XM in a car. I'm listening to all the classic rock songs. And I'm a Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, go Aerosmith, Rolling Stones. But my granddaughter's birthday, I bought her a hoverboard. Right? Mm-hmm. She's like 7 years old. Bought her a hoverboard. Her brother has one, and I had to get her one because they fought over the other one. But her hoverboard has all these lights that light up on it and shit, and it has a Bluetooth speaker in it. So I'm sitting out on the patio smoking my cigar. She's just doing a thing up and down on the deck by the pool, and she says, and I'm playing some music, and I'm playing different songs. She goes, "Play Taylor Swift, pop pop." And I'm like, okay, I look up some Taylor Swift. I put it on and she's doing her thing. She's dancing to the music and I'm listening to the lyrics and I'm going, that woman has, oh my God.
Yes.
Wow. Yes. You want to talk about powerful statements?
The words are fucking like somebody was writing in the 70s or the 60s. It's amazing. Now, through music, she is connecting with people by stories of her life. And that's something that was lost for, a long time. It's just music. Rappers. Why I love rap right now, because the old school guys like, Snoop Dogg and all these, even these guys were artists. They're poets. But you have to kind of take away that music that you're listening to and just concentrate on the words. And it's amazing. It's amazing what these guys are putting down their struggles through music. All right. So music-wise, listening to Young Ricky, disco, and all classic rock and roll.
Hugh. Fire a question.
So you mentioned that you are somewhat into the hip hop genre. Mm-hmm. Is your go-to hip hop artist that you listen
to? You know what? Right now, I was a fan of JC. Couple reasons. I've met him. Worked on a project for Cuiba with him. I've met him a couple of times, and bro. What a gentleman. And so that, and I think the guy that, I'm sorry, the guy that was shot, oh my God, by Biggie, he was, oh my God, Biggie was another one for me. Oh my God. He was a movie star.
Tupac. Right.
Bro, listen to his fucking lyrics. It's amazing. But you know what? I like music. It to me, it can be country, it can be rap, it can be rock and roll. Bro, if you have a story that you're trying to share with me, I'll listen to it. If you're just singing a song to sing a song, no.
So being a Tampa native, does Tom Brady retire now that he got divorced?
No, bro, I'm fucking do it. Go. take your fucking rings with you. I'm done. I'm done with him.
Is he even playing football? I don't even understand what he's
I don't know
doing
what he's.
anymore.
I think this team is done. It's just ugly. I don't know what next year when we fire our coaching staff, we have no quarterback. We're long in the tooth on defense, so we're going to go back to the '80s. Just that shitty fucking Bucks team from the '80s.
Now you guys are going to go. That's not. I mean, you say the '80s. You're going to go back to before Tom Brady said he's going to Tampa Bay.
Bro, relax. Really, we won a Super Bowl before he got here.
Yeah, that was 20 years ago, Rick.
I know that. Who's your team? Who's your team, bro? Who's your team? And if you say, the Patriots, who's your team?
I'm a Bears fan. I'm a Bears fan.
Oh my God, talking about history. How long do you have to go back to their fucking Super Bowl?
We actually played. We won in '85. We played in the Super Bowl in 2010.
40 years.
Yeah,
40 years.
Listen, we have more Super Bowl appearances in the last decade than the Dallas Cowboys do. So before you guys crap on my team,
that's not saying that a lot. That's not saying a lot, bro. That's not. If you're shortest guy with the midgets, you're just the shortest guy in the midgets. So Dallas, but for me, Tampa's done. Put a fork in. We're on to hockey and my garage.
Oh my gosh. Have you had a chance, speaking of lightning round, have you had a chance to attend a Tampa Bay Lightning game and smoke at the arena?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Is it not an awesome experience?
It is because, it was because they moved the smoke lounge at the beginning. That you had a view of the ice, and now it's just like cigarette smoking in its little thing. But I opened up when they opened the arena. General Cigar opened up with the Central Cigars, the club, and I was there all the time. So yeah. So but and then Tampa had the baseball team had a smoking area too.
That's right.
By Jason Newman, and then it was never. You couldn't view the game, so it was all on TV and all that.
That's the way it is in Detroit. They've got the lounge, but you gotta watch it on TV, and then you walk out, smoke a cigar for a few innings, and then you walk out. So, so we're in the middle of baseball season, end of baseball season, I guess, middle of where we are in the World Series. Big surprise last night, huge surprise. Philadelphia Phillies came back and won that game in 10 innings. Who wins the World Series?
I think Houston is going to win, but I'm really supporting Philly right now. Number one, love the Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. Love Philadelphia, but I think Houston is too powerful. And they also cheat all the time. So, cheers.
Dusty Baker's he's cleaner, I have to admit.
For Baker, I would love for him to win one because he suffered with the big head in San Francisco and never won one with him. But I think Dusty would be great. But I'm pulling for the underdog.
I am too. I have all my cards folded. Right. So my Red Sox were out. They weren't even in postseason. Okay. The Mets were my backup. They gone. Right. And then from there, and Tampa was gone. And I'm like going, well, who's left in this? And of course, I wanted to see the Yankees lose, and they did. Thank you, Houston, for taking care of that in 4 games. That was an embarrassment to the Yankees fans. And then the only thing left was I had to reach down in my soul and my ex-father-in-law, who passed away years ago. He was born in Brooklyn, but was a huge Phillies fan his whole life. Imagine that, Brooklyn with the Dodgers. He was a Philadelphia Phillies fan his whole life. He had the gear. That was his thing. And I said, you know what? I'm going to root for the Phillies. This is the only thing left in my card deck that I could root for. So
Why
maybe he's
not?
listening.
Rick,
All right, guys.
are you into basketball at all?
No,
Not at all.
No,
no,
me either.
no,
Not
no.
my jam.
No, not soccer. It's really in Tampa. It's football number one, hockey number two, and baseball number three. So we have no team in in Orlando Magic.
Yeah, you'd have to go an hour away to go watch a game if you wanted to. Yeah. So we'll call the show here. And Ricky, I just want to say it's been a pleasure catching up with you again. I'm going to take you up on your offer. I'm coming over to visit you. Heritage Festival, maybe I find a reason to hang out.
Sure. For sure. Let's do that.
We'll figure something out. Maybe it's 2 days. Maybe I stay overnight and, we'll go hang out one like Friday,
I would love that.
Saturday, Sunday.
Come to the garage. I have more liquor and more beer and more cigars you can shake and stick at.
I don't need the liquor and the beer as much as I need the cigars. I just smoke cigars.
But do me a favor, send me your address and I'll definitely send you some giveaways for your fan base. And so thank you so much for the opportunity, Jim. Again, there's a couple of people in this world that I trust, and you're one of them. And so anything you need from us, the answer is yes before you call us.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you very much again for joining. Thank you to all the sponsors for keeping this show alive. And remember, get out there, love, like, and share this video. And you too can be on the Wheel of Wonderfulness next week to win some West Tampa stuff.